Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, where performance is driven by original fundamental research on a global scale. This is Putnam Today. Produced in association with the University of Southern California.
I don't suppose you need more evidence that housing is bogged down. Yesterday it was existing home sales. Today we heard new houses are selling at their slowest pace on record. To sell new houses, you got to keep people from being kicked out of their old ones. And to do that, those people need help. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Progressive Insurance, with more than 30,000 local independent agents. Information available at progressive.com. And by Thomson Reuters, a source of intelligent information to businesses and professionals around the world. Thomson Reuters, knowledge to act.
From the Frank Stanton Studios in Los Angeles, I'm Bill Radke. You have me this week instead of Kai Ryssdal. It's great to have you here on this Wednesday, August 25th. The government has tried to help borrowers lower their mortgage payments and stay in their homes. Banks have been modifying mortgages too, and there is news that those bank modifications are beginning to work. The report comes from a group of state regulators called the State Foreclosure Prevention Working Group. Mark Pierce is part of that group. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
You found that homeowners who had their mortgages modified last year are faring better than people who did that the year before. Why is that?
Well, we think the primary reason that is happening is that the loan modifications that are being offered to homeowners are much better than they were 2 years ago. Most of them are now significantly reducing the monthly payments that the borrowers have to make. 90% of them are now reducing mortgage payments, and 80% of them are actually reducing them by more than 10%.
Banks weren't so willing to do that in 2008?
That's exactly right. I mean, one of the early learnings in the foreclosure crisis was that what banks were calling loan modifications were really just Band-Aids that kind of extended the payments and didn't really provide meaningful relief to homeowners. But once they began offering significant relief, it turns out a lot of people actually could stay in their home and avoid foreclosure.
Well, I want to talk about how much help banks are and are not giving homeowners in a moment. First, I want to know if modifications are helping. How much do you think this is going to help stop the foreclosure bleeding?
You know, it's still, unfortunately, the minority of homeowners that are able to get a loan modification. Really, one of the primary reasons for that is most homeowners aren't in the process of talking to their mortgage company. 6 out of 10 homeowners aren't working with their mortgage company at all.
Yeah, I saw that. Why aren't they picking up the phone for help?
Sometimes they do pick up the phone, and the question is what happens when they do. This has been a very confusing and complex process, and so a lot of homeowners have shut down and don't know who to call and don't know what to provide, and there's the underlying problem that homeowners in distress don't always open the mail. They put it in the bad news drawer and wait until it's too late.
Yes, a lot of us have a bad news drawer these days. Here's what I don't get. You found that the people who are able to get back to making their payments are the ones who have their principal reduced. But most banks aren't doing that. Most loan modifications lower the monthly payment, but they add service charges, and in the end, they increase the loan amount. And, you know, you can certainly understand why banks don't want to give away money, but how is this going to prevent enough foreclosures to be of any real help to the housing market?
Well, certainly the reduction in payments has been a big help. But as you point out, even in those cases, something like 70%